just a bit outside.
And welcome to another episode of Just a Bit Outside. I'm your host, Steve Ely, and along with me, as always, my co-host, Mr. Wes Cook.
Here we go again.
I know, brother. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, but hey, man, we're getting them in. That's all that matters. We got tons of stuff to bring today.
Oh, tons.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff is going on.
I'm excited.
Where you want to start?
Man, I mean, we got NBA playoffs. We just watched the Thunder destroy the Nuggets in Game 7. So,
A little shocked by that. I thought the Nuggets would come out with a little more effort.
Well, the Nuggets were up double digits early on and then flipped the whole script, and the Thunder just took over. And this is the Thunder team that we saw after the first quarter is the Thunder team that I knew we'd see this playoffs. Because we said they weren't far away.
No, they're not far away.
And I think they're there now. We might have been a year off because we're like, in about 2 years, this might be the year.
Maybe.
They look good.
I like everything I've seen from all the teams left in the playoff.
Oh, yes.
Minnesota looked good. I still question Rudy Gobert. He can be a liability on occasion defensively if you can switch him the right way.
If you get him switched onto a smaller guy, it just
you're in trouble.
Well.
You can't switch with Rudy,
right? Minnesota and Thunder in the Western Conference Finals will be interesting. I'm excited to see how that one goes. I still taking the Thunder. That was my pick to win it all. I'm going to stick with that. But I think this one goes 7.
I think it does go 7. I agree with you.
I think it's going to go 7. The T-Wolves have put it together. That was the other team we talked about.
Yep.
Being right here. And I guess it just has come to fruition maybe a year early for us.
Well,
for what we talked about.
They worked to the Western Conference Finals last year, so
they did. They did.
That's 2 years. 2 years. This is their second year there. They've gone.
We're going to be right about one of these teams.
One of these teams we're going to be spot on about.
Yeah.
The Eastern Conference, though, I think we are completely shocked.
Yeah. I mean, granted, Tatum went down for the Celtics. The Celtics were controlling that series beforehand. Not the Celtics. The Knicks were controlling the series beforehand.
Here's the thing about the Celtics. The Celtics, I blame 100% on bad coaching. Yeah. And the reason I say this, Game 1 and Game 2, they blew 20-point leads in the second half because, hey, we're just going to keep jacking up threes regardless if they're going in or not. So you're not drawing fouls. You're not getting to the free throw. I think in Game 1.
You're not slowing the game down a little bit. The thing is, you're trying to run through it and just hope you maintain the lead. That's not a way to coach these teams.
No.
I mean, keeping the up-tempo pace got you there. And we preach a lot about guys taking the air out of the ball. A lot of coaches, especially in college.
Yeah.
But now we're talking about this is the NBA playoffs. Like,
yes.
We need you need to change it up a little bit. Slowing it down is not necessarily a bad thing. Trying to get to the basket, get those get the fouls and things like that. Then you're putting guys in foul trouble. Then you're getting to the free throw line. You're getting easy points.
Easy points. Yes. Yeah. And you've got what they had, I think, Boston's 5 starters shoot 70+% from the free throw line. That there's not one of them that's a free throw liability.
There's not a Shaq on the floor.
No, there's not. Yeah. I mean, Derek White can shoot them, Tatum, Brown, Porzingis can shoot them too.
Yeah, I mean, you're not it's not problematic. No, I agree with you. Yeah, the Celtics.
I mean, in all actuality, they could have won that series, even with Tatum going down. Because they won a game without him.
Yeah.
But it's when he went down, that was just kind of like
we saw the writing on the wall, right?
Yeah,
you knew what was going to happen.
It's pretty gnarly too, watching it. Like
it didn't seem like anything happened.
You could, if you go back, there's slow-mo footage, kind of like the one of Aaron Rodgers, where you could see the whole calf shimmy. Yep. Where you can kind of see it just do this number for a second.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
You saw it snap.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. There's some slow-mo.
Okay.
You got to see it in slow-mo. You don't really see it at regular in game speed.
Yeah.
But if they slow it down, you can see it like.
Just snap.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's rough. That's a tough one to come back from, too.
Oh, yeah. That's Christian Laettner said that's what kind of ended his NBA career.
Right.
That he didn't have
Science has advanced a lot now, so that helps.
It has.
I mean, you see guys come back from Achilles a lot more now than you have in the past.
Well, I remember it used to be if you tore an ACL, MCL, any of that stuff, you were done.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
You were done.
Yeah.
Any kind of, especially in football.
Well, it was a 2-year process to recover, and then you just never were going to be the same.
And now it's like 10 months.
What was it? Adrian Peterson came back in like 8 months from it. And you're like, what the?
I mean, look at, kid, played at Miami, played for San Francisco. He 3 times, right? God, why am I having a brain fart?
Gore?
Frank Gore.
Yeah.
3 times. 3. Came back from all 3.
Yeah. No,
and still played till he was what, 38?
Dude.
39, something
Dude
stupid.
put in almost 20 years in the league. I mean, it was incredible.
For a running back?
Yeah. That was the guy that Philly kind of put all their chips in on one year. And it seemed like everything was set up to go, and he just bounced. He was the Eagle that never really became an Eagle. And it was like, all right. So really never had a whole lot of respect for him after that, to be honest with you. But I do respect his longevity in the league for sure.
You don't see running backs do that.
No, not at all. Mm-hmm.
Ever.
It's impressive. It is very impressive.
But
especially for the guy that, had the injuries that he had.
Yeah. But let's get back to the NBA.
Yeah.
We kind of saw that. The Knicks played great though.
They look good. When you have, the Villanova championship team in the NBA.
Yeah.
And
everybody predicted that none of those guys would be any good.
No, and they've all turned out to be phenomenal.
Solid players. Brunson is a star waiting to happen.
And he is a star.
I mean,
dude's a stud.
I mean, he's that. He can get them into the finals. His stock goes up. He is a true NBA superstar.
Oh yeah, and you just put in the right pieces around him, and just they've done well, and with the history of the Knicks and how things have not really gone their way. The way they've constructed this roster is pretty impressive, and
Tom Thibodeau's done a good job here too.
Mm-hmm.
He's got them playing defense, which that's what he loves, and they're running the offense that he likes to run.
Yeah, no, everything's working in their favor right now. So, as much as I hate to see the Knicks be successful, they are it, and you got to tip your cap to them for sure.
I mean, I like Indiana on the other side too.
Indiana's been balling. They've lost 2 games in this playoff.
Halliburton has been a
stud.
Yes.
Stud.
Yes.
Rock star, dude. Rock star.
I did not know this, but I saw that there was a reported trade offer at one time, Halliburton for Ben Simmons.
Man, don't tell me that.
I don't know how much truth. I saw something about it. When is this trade? If it's year 1, year 2, year 3, Ben Simmons, I get the turning it down, but second contract, Ben Simmons.
I don't want to hear this.
I'd have been. I'll take it. Well, but you didn't know at that time that Halliburton was going to be this either.
And if he came to Philly, would he flourish into this being the man? I mean, maybe, but does that mean we get Tyrese? Does that mean, a lot of other chips might not fall the same way they do, but you tell me Halliburton and Embiid are playing together. I mean, that's
a nice little pipe dream.
Apparently, Indiana made the right decision.
Oh yeah. Well, supposedly it was Philly that said no.
Ah, shit! Don't tell me this too.
But who knows?
this front
But I mean,
office.
is Halliburton
This
is Indiana
front office.
is the Indiana like Halliburton's spot though? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still think Paul George played his best basketball in Indiana.
I agree. No, you're right. Yeah,
I mean, is Paul George still a good player? Or he was
No.
a good player in Oklahoma City.
not in Philly?
Not in Philly, wasn't. He was in the Clippers. He's just hurt all the time now.
That's the same. He was hurt all year this year. I mean, it's just. I mean, I said it before the beginning of the season that it's not the signee I wanted to have.
No.
I was like, I mean, it just didn't make sense.
Well, it doesn't help that Embiid's hurt all the time now too.
Right. That takes you to another point. Do you think about offloading Embiid at this point? There's a lot of scenarios here that, they could take place to correct the line that the Sixers are on.
Embiid's a great player. He's MVP caliber. I mean, he won an MVP, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he has it in him.
Yeah,
it's just now it's like.
Does he have the health in him, though? That's the big thing. You got to think about the health.
You can get 45 games of MVP Embiid is what you're getting right about now. And that's not enough in the NBA.
No.
Unless you're going 45-0 in those 45 games.
If you have a stud, he needs to be playing 70-plus games a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. You can't be riddled with injuries and sitting out and taking these rest days and everything else that's part of the game at this point, and expect a result that Philadelphia has been craving in basketball for the longest time, and the best you could do is a second round
exit every year.
Yeah,
I get it.
We're not making the playoffs like we did this year. But I mean, granted, everybody was out this year. Tyrese missed time. Paul George missed time. And
hey, look at it this way: you guys lucked your way into the third pick of the draft.
We didn't have to give up that pick, thankfully,
and
because it was a top 3 protected pick.
By the way, my old man rant. I told you I was going to unload on that.
It's time. Shortly. It's time. Well, hold on. First, let's talk about the Cavaliers getting blown out by the Pacers.
Garland being beat up. And I think he missed 2 games, and then he came back, and he still wasn't 100%.
No, I get
Props
it.
on him for trying to come back and play, but you could see it. I watched a few of their games.
Right? Yeah, it wasn't the same.
It was not the same. It was the same. I watched the Knicks Celtics game the other night.
Yeah,
and it was the same way. It was like, what? This. It was just like they were not in it at all. At one point, they were up. I think the Knicks were up by like 45.
Mm-hmm.
But what got me at that point, you're up by 45. Cat was still on the court. A couple starters were still on the court. And it's like, it's the third quarter. You're up 45.
I think
get these guys off the court.
I think just part of it is the fact that you just want to show up a rival. And at that point, you've already shown them up.
You've already showed them up.
Yeah, like, we're good. We got it.
Like, Boston had even already set like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, like, if they're doing it.
They know. They knew they was done.
Right.
But, But
the Pacers, I think.
Just thumped them.
Yeah, both of these finals, Eastern and Western Conference finals, are going to be phenomenal. They're going to be must-watch basketball.
I think it's 7 games on both sides.
I think so, too. I think these both go the distance, and then your final's going to go to the distance because all 4 of these teams can win a title right now.
Yeah.
Watching the way they're playing, watching how they execute, all 4 play pretty damn good defense.
You're going to have stars getting first titles this year.
Yes.
No matter what.
Well, no, it's true. Of course, the Thunder have never won a title.
Nope.
The Pacers have never won a title, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think they have either. If it had, it was before I was born.
Knicks haven't won one in a long time. And
70.
Yeah, it's the 70s.
74, 75.
Right.
The Walt Frazier title? Is that the last
I think
one?
that's the last one. And then the T-Wolves, I think they've been there, but with Kevin Garnett.
I think maybe they got the one.
But I don't think they won one.
No, I think they got – I want to think if they got there, they got swept or something.
Yeah. My history's not coming back to my head like I usually does.
And the Knicks, the last time they were there, they were there in the finals with Ewing.
Was that one of the years against the Rockets?
That was one of the Elijah Wan years.
Yeah.
Yep. And it might have been, they were 2000. Because they were talking about Larry Johnson being on that team, and Brunson's dad was part of that team. It's been 25 years since they've been to the conference finals,
Okay.
I think, if I remember correctly.
Let me see here. Yeah, when Minneapolis had the Lakers, of course, they've won quite a few, but they were the Lakers before they moved. So the T-Wolves haven't actually been that team.
I'm looking up the Knicks right now.
It was the Knicks were there in 99.
Yeah.
They lost 4-1 to the Spurs.
Yep.
So you're right. And then
the
Pacers have been there. They were there in 2000.
Was that the year that
Larry Bird was
Reggie Miller gave them the choke and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks, the choke symbol. Okay. Yep. Okay. But yeah, you're going to get first time winners.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the stars that are left deserve it. Brunson deserves it. Halliburton deserves it.
Ant deserves
Ant deserves it.
Shea,
SGA, yeah.
Shea definitely deserves it. I mean, the way he's been balling out, he balled out today. So
just crazy, just crazy. Like I'm looking forward to these series. I'll be on top of these a lot. This is when the NBA really grabs me, when it gets to playoff time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was 73 the last time the Knicks won it.
Yeah.
They beat the Lakers in 5-game set there.
But as far as
let's get to the draft. Let's talk about the draft, or the draft lottery at least.
It's fucking rigged.
It
is rigged. Rigged.
It does.
Rigged.
It feels that way.
No way. My brother, who, he's a big Hornets fan, so he wants them to do well. The final combination, the top 3 picks, 0.01% chance of those 3 teams having those picks.
Yeah.
Come on. It's rigged.
I mean, with Dallas
getting
Dallas, San Antonio, and Philadelphia all getting those top 3 picks.
Yeah. Like, just
it does make you think a certain way about these things, especially with Dallas, because Dallas trades away Luka.
You trade away that was straight up the NBA.
The last time that happened was they traded Chris Paul.
Traded New Orleans. It's happened a lot. It's happened a lot.
Yeah, New Orleans traded away Chris Paul.
New Orleans gets the first pick, and they get Zion.
Oh, they got Anthony Davis.
Then they trade away Anthony Davis. They get Zion. Luka goes to LA now. They turn right around and get the first pick.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Like, it's rigged. I mean, there's
there's something in there, like somebody behind the scenes knows. Is like, hey, if we trade Luka, will we get the first pick?
You got to think the NBA wants the Lakers to stay relevant.
Well, no, I get it, but I mean, they're going to stay relevant no matter what, because LeBron's. So that's what people talk about. That's how this goes.
They're looking into the future, though. Like, LeBron's not going to be around for another 5 years.
No, he's probably not.
So they're set. They've got their star for the next 10 years.
Right.
Where the league, the Lakers kind of floundered the way, like, right after Kobe left. They dipped for a minute.
They were dipping while Kobe was there.
Yeah. But I mean, they didn't have anywhere to go.
Right.
So they didn't get. So that's how LeBron. But you look back over the history of the draft lottery. Come on. Patrick Ewing's a New York guy ending up with the Knicks. LeBron ending up in Cleveland. LeBron leaving Cleveland and them getting Kyrie.
Yeah. Well, then he came back and then won with Kyrie.
Exactly. So, I mean, I hate it, but I think it's rigged. I think it's rigged every year. Every year.
It does seem a bit suspicious.
I mean, look at Philly. Philly, when the process I mean, granted, they were terrible.
They fucked up those picks, though.
They fucked up a lot of picks.
You fuck up Ben Simmons. You fucked up Markelle Fultz.
You fucked up Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I mean, well, you had him in your lap, and you lost him. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. You lost. There's a lot of.
Didn't they trade that pick? Didn't they swap with Boston or something that year? Didn't they move up to one to get Fultz?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And then Jalil Okafor, who you had at 2, who would have been a great player in the 90s. His game doesn't translate to today's game.
No, not at all. He's just a big man that can't step outside. Yeah, it's just weird because you give a team like Dallas this, and where I think a Cooper Flag in like Charlotte makes them relevant again.
It does make them relevant. Because
with Ball and Cooper Flag, like you got 2 studs, 2 guys that are going to flourish in the league. Their styles are both, I mean, Ball's already proven it, of course. Hopefully he can figure a way to stay more healthy going forward. But with a guy like Cooper Flag coming in there, and just the tag team you would have is crazy.
Be nice.
And it just seems like, no, we're going to pair Kyrie with Cooper Flag.
I mean, well, you're pairing Kyrie. You're putting him alongside Anthony Davis, too.
Right.
You're looking at without Cooper Flag, you're still looking at a playoff team.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at. I mean, they won, 38, 39 games, even with guys hurt.
And they get the first pick. Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, especially when you look at other teams that have just been abysmal for years, and they just like, oh, we're going to let them stay that way, like Washington.
Washington's been bad. Charlotte's
Atlanta,
been bad. Yes.
Charlotte.
And the only way those teams get better is unfortunately, they have to hit on they have to hit on draft picks and the talent.
And they got to win while you got them in the first 2 contracts, because by that second contract, you're probably not going to afford them, or you're just not going to be able to keep the guys there, because guys don't want to be in the smaller markets.
No.
They want to go to these larger markets.
Well, I mean, if you've got a team that's winning, guys are more apt to stay there if good things are happening.
Well, and that comes back to the front office, right? That's going to come back to, Charlotte not making a lot of the right calls.
Yeah.
A lot of these draft picks just not hitting. I mean, you hit with Ball, but otherwise, what have you done?
I mean, you really want to look at Charlotte. Charlotte's been hosed at a lot of can't-miss prospects when they've been like some of the worst teams. They missed out on Anthony Davis.
Right.
They missed out on Shaq.
Yep.
They missed out on
they drafted Kobe.
Kobe said he wasn't going to play there.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's just nuts. It's like those are the types of hose jobs Charlotte got.
But at the same time, Charlotte was turned into a playoff team because of that trade. They were a playoff team with Lottie.
Right.
And Eldon Davis, and who else they have at the time? Is that still the tail end of the Larry Johnson era and stuff like that?
Right in that vicinity, I think. Yeah. Because Kobe went in the league in 96, I think. Yeah, so
that was right in their heyday.
Yeah.
I mean, because even morning was good for the Hornets.
Oh, Zoe was solid. Zoe was good for the Heat, too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I just feel like the NBA, like, you want to talk parity, you want to talk this stuff, but yet you sit here and you let teams be irrelevant just because you want these bigger market teams to.
I will say, like, what intrigues me about this draft is Brooklyn. Brooklyn has 4 picks in the first round.
Really?
They have the 8th pick.
Okay.
They have the 19th pick. They have the 26th and 27th pick.
Interesting. That's that's pretty solid, to be honest.
Right. When we talk about teams like OKC that have all this draft equity, kind of interesting. I don't think OKC even has a pick.
How do they not have one? They got a ton of picks. They got the 24th pick. 24th
pick.
Yeah, the
you're
15th pick.
Go. Oh yeah, they I'm looking at the logos are tiny.
Their logos are little tiny logos.
Who's got the 30th pick then?
The Clippers.
that the Clippers logo?
That's the
black
Clippers-
and white.
That's the Clippers' new little like front of the boat logo.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty weak.
okay. I was
Pretty
wondering who has that 30th pick. That looked weird to me.
Yeah, Brooklyn's got a ton of picks.
I'm interested to see where the Sixers go here, of course. Being my team, that's what I'm looking for. Hornets are intriguing too. Like, what can they do at this spot to really round things out?
Oh, man.
I mean, I didn't see a whole lot of VJ Edgecombe out of Baylor.
I didn't see a whole lot of him.
He was a top tier recruit coming in. They talked a lot about him, and then Baylor struggled this year, and he didn't look like really the guy. The two dudes from Rutgers that are so highly rated.
I thought you could have done more with them at Rutgers if they were so highly rated. So it kind of makes me wonder about those two a little bit.
Well, the thing is that where they played out of their skill set, things like that. There's a lot of things that come into play here that makes you think. The Ace Bailey kid is good. Like, if you go back and look at his film, he looks pretty damn legit. But it's just like, why wasn't Rutgers that much better when you're talking about two of the top three guys that are rated here in the draft?
Why weren't they better? I'm with you on that. Why weren't they better?
The Fierce kid out of Oklahoma is phenomenal.
Yeah.
This draft class just doesn't seem, outside of Cooper Flagg, there's nothing that really stands out that screams.
The screams, I'm going to be a star.
Right.
I mean, I think Bailey could be. I watched a little bit of his tape.
Yeah.
They got the other two Duke guys at 6 and 7 rated. I think Con Knipple could be a good player. I don't think he's going to be a star in the league. I think he's going to be a great third or fourth option on a team at best.
Right. Well, see, I didn't think a lot of McCain coming out of Duke last year for the Sixers. And, the limited tape that we did get with him and the limited playing time I got to see him, he looked really good. So, there's going to be one of those guys.
Yeah. There'll be somebody. There's always guys in drafts.
Knipple could be that guy, honestly. He could be the guy that just makes that next step into what his abilities give him. He has the ability to be that. I just don't know if we see it.
Yeah.
And maybe he was held back a little bit because he did play with Cooper Flagg and he played with that other dude. What's his name? The big guy.
Yeah.
So maybe
the guy that's ranked right ahead of him.
Yeah, I can't say his name. Malak.
I think they just call him Man or something like that.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the Devin Booker thing, right? Devin Booker was on that 2015 Kentucky team. He didn't start. He was on the second squad that kind of, platooned in and out.
Yep.
So, and then Devin Booker turns out to be the best or the second best guy on that team if you want to throw in Karl Anthony Towns.
Wow. Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like if you go back in time and then you put these guys together and their abilities and things, you're like, man, how much did we leave on the table?
You left a lot of meat on the table.
Because you talk about going undefeated all the way to the Final Four and a chance to make history. And that's a talk for another day in the middle of summer. We ain't got shit to talk about. But it still lingers with me. Lingers with me.
This draft is a little different, though, than we've seen in the last couple of years. There's only like 106 guys that put their name in the hat for the draft.
Right. Well,
compared to like 300 a couple of years ago.
NIL has changed.
It is NIL all day long.
100%. And there's so much money to be made in college right now. And if you're that name in the second round, it's like, it's not worth the money.
If you're an Armando Baycock or an RJ Davis, you might as well do exactly what they did. They stayed, got paid.
Well, it's when you remember watching Walter Clayton Jr. play all the way into the final.
Yep.
Finals MVP, whatever, or tournament MVP, whatever.
Was a 0-star recruit coming out of high school.
Yeah, and he's
developed under
White.
No. He was at Iona.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, that's right.
He developed under Patino.
Yeah.
Which, good on Patino for seeing a guy like that.
I mean, why do you think St. John's is good? Why did you think Iona was good? Like, Pitino has led more teams to the NCAA tournament than any coach in history.
Six.
So it's
six
nuts.
Different schools.
Right, exactly. And 2 conference titles.
Yes.
So, I mean, Pitino is one of the greatest to do it. Granted, he likes hookers and banging broads at Italian restaurant booths and stuff like that. But, you know, when it comes to basketball, the guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
Does he make the greatest life decisions? No. But
do I trust him in the arena?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, I do.
Absolutely. The guy knows what he's doing. He develops kids. So I'm shocked to see what we saw out of Walter Clayton Jr. in this entire tournament. And then he's 27 on the big board.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. That guy's got potential written all over him.
Is it the Brunson effect?
Yeah, I think so. I think his game kind of tailors in that direction too, right? And I don't know, man. He's the guy that someone's going to get a steal out of late in the first, the beginning of the second.
You know, after seeing some stuff this week, a guy that's kind of fell for me is Johnny Broome.
You're right.
Did you see that whopping 24-inch vertical leap he's got?
He's got nothing. He's good at rebounding. He's good on defense. And against smaller guys, he scores. The thing is, he's not gonna have that ability in the league.
No.
His game's not gonna translate well to the league. That's why he's 36 on the big board. A guy I do like going to the league. Of course, he played at Kentucky, so I got to see a lot of him. He's 30 on the board as a Duke Hero, and the kid has the potential to be a superstar. He could be a stud. Just his athleticism screams NBA potential. I think that's a steal in the draft with where he's rated down here. But then again, he could also be another guy that just doesn't, fulfill that potential, that prophecy that we have for him. But the guy has all the talent in the world to be good. And he's ultimately what allowed Arkansas to kind of turn their entire season around.
Yeah. I do think it's crazy that the foreign players aren't not big this year. And the three top-rated ones are all from France.
Right. And it seems to be like where we're seeing that. As, where Wemby came from. And things like that. So,
France made the gold medal game this year.
Right.
In the Olympics.
So I understand that. Yeah, there's a lot more visibility amongst those French guys. You don't have to invest as much into the scouting of them because there's a lot more tape on them. You see them against the NBA talent level when we play these, international matches. So those things help. But yeah, there's a lot of guys that I see on this board that, they stood out to me when I watched some of these games this year that I'm just like, I thought they were better than where their draft stock is. But, to be honest with you, I didn't watch a whole lot of Rutgers. I didn't watch a whole lot of Baylor.
Well, they didn't show a whole lot of Rutgers.
No.
Probably on the Big Ten network, but, I'm not a huge Big Ten basketball guy, so I'm not really watching that.
No, but then you look at the results from Rutgers, too, and it's like, what about that team that screams that there's 2 players,
2 NBA, 2 top 5 picks,
2 top 5 picks on the big board here, right? That they couldn't have a better season. You tell me a team that has 2 top 5 picks on it should make
should
noise.
Be better.
Should make noise.
I didn't realize they've got Bailey listed as a guard at 6'10". But he is only 210 pounds. But that's just crazy. Man, he's a big dude. I didn't realize he was that tall.
Yeah.
Didn't realize he was that tall, my friend. But holy smokes. Oof.
Yeah, 6'10" guard. He's got handles. He has the ability to get to the basket. I think he lacks a lot in the defensive side, and that's kind of a worry. But I think defense is one thing that can be coached.
Defense can be coached. The problem with him, it's going to be he needs about 20 pounds added to him.
Yeah, he's a thin rail. Cooper Flagg could use some poundage.
Yeah, but Cooper Flagg still outweighs him. Cooper Flagg 6'9", 209. Yeah, so I mean they're about the same size.
Yeah, but what did we say about Chet Holmgren? Man, still hasn't even put on weight.
Wemby's going to be the same way.
Yeah, I think so. If I know it's not the healthiest for you, but you want to gain weight, just put them on the beers. Just whatever Luka does, whatever Jokic does. Be like, whatever these guys are eating, do the same.
Same thing.
Right? Like, these guys are stout guys, and they're not really chiseled frames by any means.
Put them on the Barkley diet.
No, Charles Barkley was smoking cigars, drinking beers, and golfing.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Just do that.
Right?
Put them on the John Daly diet.
Well, I don't know if we want them that big. The John Daly diet is a little different. 18 Diet Cokes. And,
I saw
2 packs of cigs and
saw an Instagram reel where he was on Marty and McGee.
Yeah.
And they were asking him about, because he's got a seltzer, a John Daly seltzer.
Yeah.
now.
No, I saw him the other day when we were looking, and we were in Kentucky actually, and we saw him in there. I was like, ooh, John Daly put his name on one of these.
They were asking, Marty asked him how many of those he's drinking a day. And he's like, oh man, I think one day I drank like 55 of them or something. No gluten, no this. He's talking about, and Marty's like, you drink 55, 4.9% beers in a day?
It's nuts.
And McGee's like, yeah, man, he's hydrating.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. He's just hydrating.
Daly's insane, man.
You have that story, right?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember you heard the story of Wade Boggs, right?
Yeah, the 70 beers.
He had 73 beers on a cross-country flight, Boston to L.A.
And then went 3 for 5 the next day.
73 beers?
Insane.
Like, you give me some of these macro brewery beers like a Coors Light or a Keystone or Miller Lite or whatever. I could probably put away 20 of them in a night. And
we're talking
be right where I want to be, right? I could put 20 of those away, I think.
Yeah, we're talking 70 in a 6-hour flight.
73.
Woo.
Like, there's no, I'd pass out. I'd pass out after 20. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll get 20 in, but I'm going to pass out.
I ain't doing 20 beers. It's too.
You talk about 20, 12-ounce beers. I could put that away. I think I could do that. I'm not going to go up to the challenge and say, yeah, let's do it. But I've done the 999 challenge. That was 9 beers and 9 innings. So we're talking essentially 2 baseball games. If I wasn't eating the hot dogs, I could have put away another 11 beers in another 3 hours.
See, I can't do like, you're more of the beer drinker than I am. I've never been like a super huge.
Right.
We're going to
I just grew up on beers.
Yeah.
Like ever since I was like 14 years old, it's been beer.
Mm-hmm.
And, we mixed in bourbons and things like that. So, I'm from Kentucky, so essentially it's in my blood that, you got to drink bourbon.
Yeah.
And
I get it.
So, I could put away a good amount of bourbon too if it really came down to it. But I'm not putting away 20 fucking bourbon cocktails. Not happening.
You're not Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yeah.
Dropping 2/5 of Jack a day.
Yeah, I can't do that, man. That's like,
I can't do that.
I remember
just the thought about that just gives me the like quiver.
my brother gave me a 5th of Jim Beam for my high school graduation. So that night I went out brown bagging that motherfucker and I was just drinking it. And I poured out a couple drinks for other people. They're like, what do you got? I was like, I got a bottle of bourbon, man, And they're like, oh, can I get some? So I poured some out. Finished the entire bottle. I will say, at 18 years old, I found myself puking in a ditch and I passed out in the back of my buddy's car.
That's what happens.
Yeah. My buddy held me up by my t-shirt, like in the rear, like, cause I'm just, doing this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like getting it out, like, just talking to Earl that entire part of the night. We ended up going back to, my buddy's like uncle's condo at Carolina Beach or whatever.
Oh Lord.
And I wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, what happened? So like I said,
you met Mr. Blackout that night.
I blacked out. Yeah. I mean, I remember throwing up, but I imagine what they did was throw me in the back of the car and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
So it's not like I missed an entire portion of the evening where you connect the dots. Everything up until me puking is what I remember. So I kind of imagine I just fell asleep after the fact. I don't think I did anything stupid.
Now I've had a lot of nights where,
the lights go out.
We call it time traveling.
Yes, exactly. It is time traveling. 100%. Yeah.
Where like I can remember being here and then I'll remember here and then I'll remember being over here, but there's blank spots.
Yeah, that's a little bit more of the brownout, they call it.
And then I'm just like, the best is like the next day you talking to me, man, you were great. You were having a blast. Everything was cool. You were in your own world.
Dude, no, that's the miserable part of the next day, right? It's like, do I look at the text thread? Oh no.
I'm to the point where
you're like, do I pick up the phone? Not yet. I don't know if I'm ready for it. Let's see what happened.
The text message for me usually, who's on the list?
Yeah.
And depending on who's on the list, it's like whether or not I'm looking.
Oh yeah, like if I pull it up and just not look at any of the text, and I'm just like, oh, it's Steve and my bros. Like, oh, no, I can read these.
Yeah, we're good.
These are perfectly fine.
That's it. Yeah, that is it. I mean, we have had many conversations that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, plenty of nights, and then the next day is like, what happened?
Thursday night football conversations. Yes, that's exactly what those are.
Those went deep to midnight. Yeah. Then you see the girlfriend's text on there. You're like, oh shit, what'd I do?
Shit.
God, I hope she still likes me today.
Hope she likes me today.
Yeah, we'll find out. Let's place that phone call after I go back to bed for another hour now.
Now, we're going to let them reach out to me.
No.
That's how I'm worried.
No, you don't do that.
I do.
You just got to reach back out. Just peek in the thread real fast and just be like, okay, it didn't look that bad. Yeah, I'm safe. I'm safe.
It's never good when the last thing is an image, though.
No, it is
never good.
Oh, not looking at this. Delete.
Delete.
This didn't happen.
That's it. That is it. Keep waiting for text messages to get the unsend. Like old Facebook did. Facebook was the best thing Facebook ever did. Especially considering you can see if they've seen it or not. You just go and unsend.
Well, I mean, that helps, right?
To who? Everybody.
Yeah, unsend everything. I said, please, I hope you did not read this.
Yeah, if you've seen it already, it's too late. Then I don't even worry about it. But anyway. But yeah, I don't see I feel like Cooper's just a can't miss guy. I think it's going to take injury for him to not be a good player. We saw too much. We saw too much in the USA basketball stuff where he looked the part then.
Yeah.
As a 17-year-old high school kid.
Oh no. Yeah, absolutely.
Like here's this white dude from Maine. How is this possible? It's there. It's called hard work. Plus he can do everything.
It's also called being gifted at 6'9".
Yeah. Yeah.
Gifted some height. That'll do some things.
Yeah, you can't teach height.
No, you can't just do the whole South Park thing and like get your legs and knees replaced.
Oh Lord,
with your balls.
Yeah. Now I got a buddy from back home who is 6'7", almost. He's like 6'7" and 3/4, almost 6'8".
Yeah,
the most uncoordinated guy I've ever met in my life.
Yeah,
ever. I'm like, you absolutely kill me some days. He's like, why? I'm like, dude, if I had your height, me and you would not be having this conversation right now because I'd be in the league somewhere.
Yeah.
Or I'd be playing ball overseas.
Utilizing the height.
Yes. I could do something with 6'7", 6'8".
So I had a roommate back in the day. He's still one of my good buddies. His name's Amos. He was 6'10".
Oof.
Huge. He went to a small school in Kentucky. It was like Kentucky Christian college or university or whatever. Never played a day of basketball in his life. He's there for orientation. He's walking around. Basketball coach runs into him. He's like, "Son, you play basketball?" He's like, "No, sir." Like, you do now.
at there, absolutely.
Well, the thing is the dude ends up playing for the college or whatever, and is a few years later that I end up meeting him, and we ultimately lived together or whatever, and we joined this intramural basketball team. Yeah, it was like 25 years, something like that, right? And we go out there, dude has a skill set. Yeah, I'm just watching him get it. He has a little shimmy to the left, to the right, a little hook shot, a little, layup. I mean, he's bigger than everybody else.
Yeah, he's bigger than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, and I think he dropped 20.
When you're that big, and especially at like one of those small schools like that,
yeah,
you're probably dominating because you're not playing a 6'10" guy every day.
No, of course not.
You got guys probably 6'6" guarding you most of the time.
This school's probably not Division III, right? It's probably a small group of Christian colleges that play each other.
Yeah,
and I never really dove into his whole like basketball career with him, but he would be a dude that we should bring on. I think we could bring him on, and he'd give us some stories for sure.
I would love that. That'd be great.
Yeah, he's yeah, it's just when you talk about uncoordinated, he's not. But on the basketball floor, man, I was impressed. I was like, hey, this man's got it. He's like, he picked up some things. He kept it up there in the repertoire.
Well, I mean, you got to look at some of these. Tim Duncan played basketball 2 years before he got to Wake Forest.
Yeah,
2 years. That was it. Rest is history. You're talking about probably the greatest power forward to ever play the game.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal was very similar.
Yeah.
Like they were just stuck a basketball in his hand and all of a sudden started playing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just some guys that have it.
Yeah. No.
Some guys, you just put a ball in his hand and it just happens.
Yeah.
But
it was nuts.
What else you got down there?
Well, you're in the middle of hockey.
Yeah.
As well, playoffs. That's what's kind of cool about this whole season, right? You got the NHL playoffs too, and we are fortunate enough to have watched a representative in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I know. I made a point to on our fishing trip on Friday to ask where all these playoff tickets go.
Yeah,
I need one of these playoff tickets.
What's the word?
I didn't get a no, but I didn't get a sure. I'll get right on that too. Either.
Right, of course not. No, I get it, but man, that would be cool. That'd be an electric atmosphere. I know.
Well, I didn't realize that it's one of the loudest arenas in hockey.
It is, yeah, absolutely. The fan base is huge now, and as a resident here and being a Flyers fan, it is cool to have a team that's good. To kind of support as like a secondary team, not because we're not huge hockey fans, but I mean, being able to go and see them and then, care to watch.
It's a good time. We have a blast every time.
Well, when we went with Chris this year, right? Like Chris showed up and Chris has kind of got me like really on the bandwagon because Chris is like into it. Like he's come over here like nights after just to hang out and drink some beers. And, he's like, is the Hurricanes game's on? And so we turned it on and just watch it. And it's like, okay. And I'm in for playoff hockey for sure.
Right.
I'll watch a few games here or there in the middle of the season, but it is very rare. And usually it's like in the background, it catches my attention for 10 minutes of the entire game.
Yeah.
But playoff hockey, like I'm in. And watching it live, absolutely. Like,
and Carolina pretty much thumped Washington.
Oh, yeah. No, they definitely did. They took the 1 seed in 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you look at the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are definitely got to be the favorites to run through this thing at this point.
Going into the playoffs, they had the second highest odds of winning.
Behind the Caps?
Behind the Panthers, actually. The Florida Panthers had the best odds.
Oh, their game is going on right now.
Yeah.
They're in game 7 against the Maple Leafs.
Come on, Panthers.
Yeah, your Western Conference Finals is all set. You got the Dallas Stars and the not Houston Oilers. What's wrong? Edmonton Oilers.
Who handled Vegas?
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, they did. And they took that down in a 5-game set. Dallas Stars, it took down the 1 seed over there in a 6-game set.
Yeah, their seeding is very weird.
Well, they do it by those like division things.
Yeah. Because you see, like Vegas was a 1 seed, the Jets were the 1 seed.
You got four 1 seeds,
yeah.
and they're all in the 4 seed. So, it's like the Sweet 16.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is half the league that gets in. But that's what you're going to get, right? That's because it's more television revenue and everything like that. So it makes sense.
Speaking of playoff stuff, did you see the stuff where the NFL is talking about? It looks like it may pass that they're going to change playoff seedings.
I'm not opposed to it. I like how they re-rank stuff already.
That's not what they're changing. They're going to change the division.
Division winners don't get the seed.
It's going to be straight based on your record.
Right, yeah. So the division winners get in no matter what, but you don't get the automatic 4 seed if there's a team with a better record.
Right.
And I'm not opposed to it. Honestly, because when you go through the whole thing, is it? But then it kind of lessens the value of the division.
It does.
However,
it'll keep guys playing longer. You won't see these guys, a team that's, we've got the 2 seed locked up right now. There's no point in us playing. If we lose the next 2 games, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Where you're going to have teams, dude, we can still catch these guys. All we got to do is win.
No, you're right. You're right. So, I'm not opposed to it either. Like I said, from the get-go, it is what it is.
I like it because it keeps teams from like Kansas City kind of doing what they did this year. It keeps them where you're going to see some guys. You're going to eventually have like that last week, maybe a team be up. There's nothing you're going
to do. Like the Lions could have lost last week and the last week of the year and still had the 1 seed.
Yep.
Understood. However, here's my thing is you look at some of these teams, they play a tougher schedule.
Oh yeah.
So like you talk about teams that have these harder schedules. Let's say the entire division's over 500. Very rare that it happens, but there are instances it does. Like let's say in the NFC North, for instance, and Green Bay, wins with a 10-7 record because
Minnesota won 15 games and was the 5th seed?
Right. And I get it. That sucks. And you had 3 playoffs teams out of that entire division.
Yeah.
So in that instance, like last year is not really, doesn't support my point because of how good 3 of those teams were. But I'm saying if all 4 teams are good in the division and you have 4 teams that are all above 500 and all of them split, they all go 1-1 against each other the whole way, right? We're talking about you've got 3 losses all from within the same division. You also have 3 wins.
From the same division, yep.
From the same division.
Essentially, you're splitting your home and homes with everybody.
Right. That may happen. And then you're playing a first-place schedule or a second-place schedule, and yet you still find a way to eke out 10, 11 wins and win your division. But I understand. Usually that doesn't happen. That's just the scenario I don't support it in.
Yeah.
But the scenario with Tampa this year and, in the past with like Seattle making it with a losing record.
Yeah, Seattle getting the 4 seed at like 7 and 9.
Yeah, and getting a home game. So that happens way more often than the scenario I'm putting out there. So I say we go back and look at the math and things like that. It makes more sense to change it in this capacity.
Well, speaking of scheduling, NFL announced schedules this week.
Yeah.
I have week 1 pulled up as we're talking right now. I love the opening game. You probably love it too. Because you're probably going to get to see your team kick the shit out of the team you like to see them kick the shit out of them the most.
Here's the thing. The best part of this is that entire roster has to watch us hang a banner.
Yes, they do.
That team has to witness the celebration. And the celebration is going to cost you at least $350 to get in.
Yeah, I'm looking at that too. I'm like, ooh.
The opening line is a 7-point spread.
I would probably take Philly +7 or Philly -7 on it.
Man, it's the opening week. So there's a lot of kinks still you're working out. You got new personnel and things like that. In our case, we got a new OC too. It could be interesting. I always do this though. I'm always like, oh, it's going to be closer. It's a rivalry game, blah, blah, blah. And
these are always opening things too,
Yeah.
A lot of things could happen between now and then. I mean, we do see occasional injuries in training camp
Yeah. So I see the schedule, and my biggest gripe with it, and like, I don't mind. I like the opening match with Dallas. That's pretty cool. However, I'm not a huge fan of being the Super Bowl winner, getting a rematch with the team you played in the Super Bowl, and you got to go on the road. So week 2, we play Kansas City on the road.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge advocate of that. I don't think that's not cool.
Yeah, but didn't you play them in Philly last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah. We beat them. But I mean, I know because it runs down, and there's a reason why we do that, because the schedule breaks it down that you play the 1 seed in the AFC West on the road, then you play the 2 seed at home, and so on. Right? I get it, but at the same time, in this aspect, I just think it's weird. Should be able to get the home game against the team you just blew out.
Have you gone through and looked at some of the schedules? I would like you to look at the New York Giants schedule.
Oh, it's brutal. And there's like the opening stretch is all L's. Yeah, I mean, they start off on the road against the Commanders. There's an L. Then they go on the road and play Dallas.
That's probably going to be an L.
And then they host the Chiefs.
L.
Host the Chargers.
L.
And then they might get a win at the Saints.
The Saints might be there.
But then they host the Birds.
Yep.
They go on the road to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got to go to Philly.
Yep.
And then they host the Niners.
Yep.
I mean, there's one clear cut, not even a clear cut win, a possible win for them
in that stretch.
In that first 8-game stretch.
Well, even the rest of the schedule, they have to play the NFC North.
Right, yeah. So you're good. And the thing is, I mean, you're fortunate enough you're going on the road against the Bears.
You're going on the road, but
you host the Packers.
Yep.
You got to go on the road against the Lions, and you do host the Vikings. But that's definitely not going to be a win.
No, you look their best chances at wins. It's Saints, Patriots, Raiders.
Right.
So we're just looking at this from the outside,
and maybe the Bears.
Maybe
the Bears.
but the Bears still went 7-10 last year.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, and I mean,
and they should have improved a little. I mean, they went and spent money on offensive line.
Yeah,
they got Caleb another weapon. Didn't they have enough? Don't they have enough there? But I mean, it's just like their schedule is. They have, I think, in the ranking, they have the toughest schedule in the NFL. I did not see who had the weakest.
Yeah, they
did not see that, but I'm sure
Green Bay at least is opening the season at home against the Lions.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough game.
Green Bay has a pretty tough go of it early on too.
Their
you get
schedule.
The Lions early. You get the Commanders.
Yep.
You do go on the road for the Browns, which is nice. Then you should be able to wrap that one up.
Should.
You're on the road to the Cowboys. That should be a W. Then you host the Bengals. That's
who knows what you're getting there.
I think whatever the over under is, you take the over.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're on the road to the Cardinals, on the road to the Steelers.
Home against the Panthers. Then home against the Eagles.
Right.
Oof. I mean, you get at Broncos, home against the Ravens. I mean, it still ain't pretty.
No, it's a tough go for Green Bay too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it ain't that giant schedule, but I mean, half ours, the majority, you look at 6 games is our division.
I'm going to say you look at probably an AFC South team as having probably the easiest schedule, like the Titans.
Oh, they have to have.
They open up pretty rough. They go on the road against the Broncos and then host the Rams. But then they got Colts, Texans, Cardinals, Raiders, Patriots, Colts, Chargers, Texans, Seahawks, Jags, Browns, 49ers, Chiefs.
Can't imagine Cleveland's
Saints,
schedule is
Jags.
not terrible. I mean, other than their division, I mean, yeah, it's really not. I mean, you got the Bengals, the Ravens, their division.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it is what it is. Steelers in their division. I think Mike Tomlin gets his first losing season.
Oh, I mean, especially if Aaron Rodgers is what they're lying,
If
they're laying
tr-
everything out for.
Yeah. If that doesn't fall into place and they got to play Mason Rudolph, please, please.
Good luck.
You know what they'll be doing? They'll be calling Atlanta, wanting to know what it'll take to get Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah, you would have to.
Have to.
Yeah.
I mean, they did draft the kid from Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a 7th round pick. Maybe they roll him out there. Who knows?
Could be the possibility. Depends on how everything in training camp works.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, they get the Patriots, the Jets. They do have to play the 49ers. They do have to play the Bills. But the rest of their schedule is, Dolphins, Titans. It doesn't look overwhelming. But yeah, I think Steelers will be lucky if Aaron Rodgers doesn't sign there. And even if he does, I mean,
where else is he going at this point? I think everybody else has kind of made up their mind.
I don't think they've got the weapons.
No.
To be honest.
Not when you trade off Pickens.
I kind of like the DK Metcalf Pickens
combo. That's what I thought the whole idea was now we got a solid 1-2 combo here and the offload Pickens, and now it's like, what's the game plan here?
Let me ask you this question. We hadn't really got to talk about since it's happened. How do you like the Pickens to the Cowboys move?
I think if he doesn't get enough targets, Pickens is going to fight everybody in the locker room.
Well, he's got to know going in there he's number 2. Has to know.
I mean, CeeDee Lamb is a top 5, top 6 wide receiver.
Yeah. But
so you have to know what you're looking at here. I mean, Pickens has never played the caliber of the top 5 wide receiver.
He's also, in all honesty, never really had a quarterback either.
He's still not going to have a quarterback.
I would say Dak is better than anything Pittsburgh has had for the last 3 years.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, he played with Kenny fucking Pickett, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, it does add a weapon, but it doesn't mean that it's going to make that offense better. Yeah. The O-line's still going to struggle.
Yeah. I think their running game's still going to struggle.
Yeah, there's nothing about the running game that's improved. I mean, they brought in Williams, I think. So,
yeah, I'm looking right now because I wanted to see who they added myself.
I mean, there's still a team that has a lot of pieces they need to fill to be competitive.
Yeah,
this division has kind of shifted into a more of a Philadelphia, Washington scenario.
Oh, Dallas is at best third. At best.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough firepower and enough depth in a lot of the areas that's necessary to be successful, especially in this competitive ass division.
Mm-hmm.
And staying healthy is going to be the best thing for them, so they can at least not have to rely on depth. And if they're able to do that, they'll be competitive. However, I mean, everybody's a year old. And I mean, really, you go back and look at their draft. There's not a whole lot to look at there and say that they're changing.
Well, I like them getting an offensive lineman in the first round.
No, it makes sense. I mean, you go and make that move.
Yep.
But the thing is been better guys at that position. And, well, at least at that number.
Yeah.
And they went and got the other guy. He could work out. That's the thing. The draft is going to, there's a lot of guys that are going to surprise you. There's going to be a lot of guys that let you down. Not everybody's that surefire guy in the first round, as we've seen in plenty of years past.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's opportunity for him. This guy could shore up the line for 10 to 12 years going forward. And I mean, that's the best hope for them. But they also, the O-line's still not improved with one guy.
No.
The O-line's still deteriorated beyond him. Now, do they shore up one part of the five guys that are protecting? Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, you got a guard, though. So you're looking at an interior lineman.
Yeah.
I mean, that helps some. It helps some. I think I read a stat about him that they were saying, saw another video about it, but essentially they were like, oh yeah, they drafted that guy because he's the guy that's going to be able to stop Carter.
Oh yeah, no, that's what they said.
And then, but if you go look back, because he hadn't given up a sack in like 2-3 years, something like that. But if you go look at who his last sacks he gave up to,
3 in one game,
3 to Carter. So you're like, yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
But at the same time, you're looking at an upperclassman going up against like a freshman. So I kind of get it.
But now you're looking at a rookie going against a 3-year vet. So,
yes.
I mean, it's like, hey, buddy.
It's the same.
Yeah,
same
it's going to be the
principle.
same scenario early on. Now, does he shore up and get better and be able to stop a guy like Jalen Carter? Maybe. You're not selling the guy short.
No, I'm not selling him short.
But you want to see the last time he gave up a sack, it was to the guy they thought
they could put him up against. Yeah, it's not good.
Early on, I think Jalen's going to have his way with him. Jalen has his way with a lot of guys.
Jalen's a stud, bro.
You want to talk about a guy on the defensive line that has the potential to be Aaron Donald-esque?
Well,
Jalen Carter.
They brought him in, and then he learned underneath Fletcher Cox.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, a future Hall of Famer in his own right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's learning from the best.
It's like, all right, cool. It's kind of like your center.
Oh, yeah. Jason Kelsey, best center to play the game, probably.
Yeah. You could arguably say that. I would say that.
If at worst he transcended the game.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be
he's evolved it into a position that requires a lot of movement, a lot of athleticism, and
yeah. Well, the new offenses, you have to have an offensive line.
You got to pull the offense
that can
line.
move.
Yeah, they got to move. They got to get out and make blocks. Especially
they got to move. They got to be able to get around, pull. They got to get to that second level sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I wouldn't, I'm not going to argue about Kelsey all day. I think he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, easy.
I mean,
easy.
Just what he's done statistically as a center. He's the only guy to do what he's done.
Right.
The only one. So.
It's wild.
But, I mean, when you bring in young guys, because, they drafted, the guy that's playing center for Ghana, 3 years ago?
3 or 4. He was handpicked by
Kelsey. But he was handpicked by Kelsey. They were pretty much, hey, we know.
Who's the guy that's going to take your spot?
Yeah. And we know you're not going to be around. We're not trying to get rid of you right now. We're looking at somebody who can we draft that you can help us develop when you're ready to roll.
Well, yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, but here's what I love about that. It's the fact that they're like, hey, look, this is what we're doing. We want you to look at it. We want your help with it.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, I think that's just how many front offices do that? Not very many.
No. No, probably not. But I mean, you got to trust guys, right? And then Jurgens fills the role perfectly. I mean, the pedigree of Nebraska.
Well, it's also it's Howie Roseman having the trust and having the
Yeah, no, I mean he's proven his worth as a GM for sure. You go back and look at some of these draft picks and they make you scratch your head. And in the more recent years, though, now you're sitting back. Okay, let him go.
Yeah, he over the last 4,
yeah,
5 maybe.
I mean, ever since the Jalen Reagor blunder and losing out on Justin Jefferson,
he's kind of been on it.
It's all been short up, right?
Yeah.
He's taken his method and changed it and said, "I'm not going to try to be smarter than everybody else. I'm going to go with the surefire thing, and I'm going to let it fall to me. I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to give up equity to go and get a guy that I'm so invested in.
I may like this guy, but I'm not betting. I'm not trading the farm to get him.
Yeah, I'm not betting my future on it either.
Yeah.
And, that's why he's going to sustain success. He's going to sustain his job. Everything's going to be there for him because of what he's doing now. And, that's why other GMs are afraid to answer their phone on draft night when they see, the Philadelphia number come in. They see the 215. And they're like, oh, shit.
What the fuck does this guy want?
Yeah.
Who does he want, or what does he want me to take?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you see the 215, you're like, ah, shit.
See Cleveland call you like, oh, I can win this one.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, this is good. I got a bologna and cheese sandwich.
I like what Cleveland did this year, though. I like it.
No, they drafted well.
I didn't like
to steal the draft easily.
It depending. But he could be.
I mean, the fact that you went and got 2 quarterbacks is kind of puzzling. But I mean, I think the value in the 5th round for a guy like that. Can you get the ego, leveled out?
Yeah. Well,
that's going to be the telling story of Sanders. But
my question is, who's gone off? Who's going to be the guy gone? They got 5 quarterbacks on their roster, right?
Yeah.
5. As weird as it sounds, I think Pickett's a dead man walking.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because there's too much tape on the guy now. There's too much there that is known about Pickett. And there's so much unknown with the 2 guys they picked. Like, do you play your hand with Pickett that you're not getting shit out of? Or do you play your hand with,
young guys?
With the young guys when you've got, you brought in Dylan Gabriel, you brought in Shedeur Sanders, and you're sitting there and you're like, okay. Because really, if it's us and we're talking, Deshaun Watson and Kenny Pickett are gone.
Deshaun Watson would have been gone last year. I would have already eaten that cap hit.
Yeah, he's not playing another down in this.
No.
Unless the most dire situation happens and you got 3 quarterbacks. You got 3 quarterbacks hurt.
I mean, he already tore the Achilles again.
Right.
So you're like,
he's not even coming back until middle of the year.
Yeah.
So you're talking about you're running the game with Flacco, right? I mean, because you bought in Gabriel and Sanders to fill in after Flacco does it. You've seen what Flacco does. Like, you're going to carry the season with him at least until he's hurt. Then you're going to run your chances with Sanders or Gabriel.
Yeah.
Pickett is a dead man walking.
He's out of there.
Watson is only held based on his contract at this moment and just waiting for somebody to be like, we need to cut the dead weight. And
they've already made the first when the owner come out and said, yeah, we swung and missed badly.
Yeah,
Watson.
no.
When they finally have somebody that's come out and said it.
Well, I mean, that's what you need to do, right? Haslam came out and was like, this is it.
Yeah.
And so I get that, but it's a shame we're not GM.
I wish somebody would let us just do it.
Do it for 1 year. See
Give-
what
give
happens.
give
Like,
us-
man, like we're pretty smart guys about
give
this.
us,
Like,
give us. Well, I wouldn't say 1 year. Give us like 3 years.
well, yeah. I mean, we're not going to change the team overnight, of course.
No, you can't.
But I think we could turn a team not making the playoffs into a team that makes the playoffs.
I think we can do that in 3 years.
Easily. I think we could take control of the Browns and make them a playoff team.
Absolutely, I think we could.
I
think we could do it with Tennessee.
We could. I like the idea of the Browns because of just how mismanaged they've been for so long. I think that's a team that you just be like, you know what, fuck it. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah. I like Stefanski.
Let the fans figure it out. And yes, Stefanski's a good coach in position. They'll allow for us to, work with a guy that has his head on his shoulders and is making some of the right moves. And then you've got a defense you can work with. You know the guys are going to be able to be put in place and do the right things.
Yeah.
So we're here, and I think
they're not.
I think we could find an offense that's going to figure this out.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I think we could. Problem is, we can't just talk them into letting us do it. I'd do it for free.
No.
All right,
I will take a significantly
lower GM salary than anybody else.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Pay me $500,000 per year, and then throwing a bunch of bonuses my way based on success.
Yeah,
and then because the GM's making $3 million a year, probably a successful one. We're telling them pay between the two of us. You pay $1 million. I'm not going to be free. Can't be free. I'll be free. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'd be free for the first year to prove to you I can do the job.
Yeah.
And then you're going to incentivize that entire first year based upon the successes that we have. And extend me based on said successes.
Wow. Trying to see. I'm just looking just for shits and giggles what Howie Roseman makes.
Howie's making some cheese now.
I'm just curious.
I bet you
what
makes cheese.
What he is actually making at the moment.
Howie's just throwing ducats.
Give me numbers, man. Numbers. There's no number on this. It just says 3-year extension.
It's not publicly available.
Oh, that's sweet. That means it's a lot more than we're thinking. This says, how much does the Eagles GM make a year? How much does the general manager make at the Eagles, United States? Oh, that's not looking at. No, there's no way it's that. Get out of here. There's no way it's that. I just feel like he makes. I gotta think he's not making, $3 million.
He's gotta make more.
Yes.
All right. Let's see if they'll tell us this. Average NFL GM salary. They say, but see, now it just says in California. They're saying like $100,000. There's no way that you are managing money for a $1 billion business,
and you're making that. That's right. That's what this says. It says approximately like $70,000 or something. Right. I'm like, no, there ain't no way. No way.
Okay, here we go. GMs typically make around $1 million a year on the lower end spectrum, and the highest paid is right around $7.5 million.
It's got to be Howie Roseman.
Yeah, and Howie Roseman's probably in the upper echelon of them.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we'll be on the lower end.
Yeah, but you also you got to think there's a lot of teams like. I mean, I know the Chiefs have a GM in place, but we all really know who the GM of that team is.
Oh, sure, but I mean, it was back in the Patriots days, right? We knew. I mean, he was the head coach and GM.
Yep.
Or you go to Dallas and the owner's the GM.
Yeah,
He's not paying himself. So
it's just weird.
But you have a GM like Howie Roseman that does his job and is given full authority to do it. without any interference from the owner.
Well, I mean, that's what you pay these guys for.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, like, this guy's clearly doing the job right. This is a guy that other GMs are modeling themselves after. Like, he's in the upper echelon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely is. I'm trying to think of who else has been doing fairly decent jobs. I don't think Dan Morgan's done a bad job in Carolina. I don't think the GM in Green Bay has done a bad job, except he keeps drafting.
You talk about Carolina, though. I don't feel like he has like the full authority to run things, right? Because you talk about the whole Bryce Young thing.
Well, you also look at, they could have traded Brian Burns 2 years ago for 2 firsts.
2 first round
picks. And they said
no. Right.
And then they trade him last year and they get a second and a bag of nickels.
I think. Yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, if I got a guy that I'm not quite sure I'm going to, if I'm saying no to 2 first round picks, I have to know that I'm re-signing that guy.
Well, yeah, because if he's not going to re-sign, then I need something out of him.
Absolutely.
And the fact you let him go away for
a second,
pennies on the dollar, essentially.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. This is a bad GM move.
I would have took the 2 firsts immediately. Give them to me.
I'm like, he's not going to stick around. We're not successful. We don't have a plan in place that's going to make it successful in the immediate future. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start building for the future. Let's pull off these 2 first rounders, especially for how bad the Giants have been. If they're giving up 2 first rounders for them.
It wasn't the Giants at that time.
I don't know
somebody
who it
else,
was,
but it was
like,
out there.
I'm just saying in the instance it was the Giants. You're talking about a team that was bad that's giving up 2 first rounders for them. That's huge.
Yeah, because you're looking at top 5 draft picks.
Yeah, you're basically pulling off the same shit Chicago did against them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just like crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like Cleveland moving back with Jackson. They picked up another first next year.
Right. Smooth.
And I don't, could Jacksonville be better? Maybe. I think out of any division, that's probably your weakest one.
Well, that's what I said. I said we need to look at the AFC South and decide what are we looking at in terms of schedules.
I think
Houston, because they got Houston, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Tennessee in that, and 3 of those teams aren't great.
Man,
I mean, Houston
will be fine.
They're in progress.
They're building in progress. They just got to keep.
Yeah, we got to see what happens. Like, they took a step back this year, but they could take a step forward again.
I mean, they took a step back. They still won the division, so
exactly.
And they won a playoff game, so
yeah, they can still move forward. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
I mean, that's always good when you're winning. When you're a young team and you're winning playoff games, that's good for you.
Those are good feels.
They are good feels, brother.
Yeah, you know what I like about good feels?
The good feels.
Well, yeah, everybody loves the good feels. I mean, I understand that. But with getgoodfeels.com, you're getting a fantastic product, right? Damn it, I lost my whole thing.
You lost your read?
Yeah.
You lost your read, sir.
I was building it into.
You were trying.
Anyways, with the Get Good, I still lost my read. Like, I feel like I closed it.
I did not lose mine. I left them up, but
Oh, never mind. There we go. I figured myself out. With Get Good Feels, what I like about them is they're a cannabis seltzer, and they offer a new era of refreshment. Crafted with high-quality, natural ingredients. These beverages provide a consistent, enjoyable, uplifting experience, perfect for any occasion. You get a 20% discount using Jabbo the Pod in the promo code section. Make sure you check them out. Good shit right there. And that's what gives you good feels.
It does. I like it.
Howie Roseman is probably sipping on this whenever he's making draft picks.
Probably drank way too many when he drafted Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, that's probably what the problem was. You know what? That's what happened. He's like, I just need to pull back on the good feels for a little bit.
Just pull back on him a little bit.
Yeah,
I like
just
it.
Pull back a little bit on the good feels. But yeah, so you got baseball on right now. Of course, you got the Subway Series with the Mets and the Yankees. They're in the Bronx, and I think it's 2-1 Yanks right now.
2-1 Yanks.
2-1 Yanks. Juan Soto makes his return visit to Yankee Stadium for the first time. It's going on that subway.
Just swapping the boroughs.
Yeah, just swapping boroughs.
Man, Colorado still single-digit wins.
So let's talk about this. We were talking about baseball. I bet on baseball last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull this up so you know how bad of a beat this is.
Yeah.
And I looked at it before I went to bed last night, and I'm like, man, this is going to cash. I'm so excited. So, I mean, it was a little bet. It was like plus 500 hit, and it's a 5-legger.
Yeah.
Nothing real crazy. So there's a special for the Phillies because they've been leading after 3 innings in like 7 of the last 10 games, 7 or 8 of the last 10 games.
Yep.
I was like, all right, let's do that. And let's throw it together. I was like, all right, cool. Let's go ahead and throw that together. So Phillies led after the first 3 innings, and then they covered the 1.5 run spread, which is basically generic for every game.
Yeah, it's always 1.5.
Yeah. So they won 5-2. I was like, cool. That one ended the earliest, and it hit. Took the Cubs to beat the White Sox. The White Sox. You know,
As you should.
right. So just money line on that.
As you should.
Then I took the Braves to hit the money line over the Red Sox. All right. I saw like in the middle of the 7th, they were up 6-2. Like solid.
Yeah.
Braves end up losing 7-6.
Oh.
So then, I didn't even see the end of this game. So then I also bet on the Rockies to lose because why not?
They always lose.
This is the easy one to bet. So I had the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are up 11-6 or something like that after the 5th.
No, that was Saturday, wasn't it? Or Friday?
No, it was last night.
Was that last night?
Yeah, so they were up like 11-6 after the 5th inning. The Rockies came back and won 14-12.
Lord. Yeah, that's a bad beat.
Yeah, they scored 4 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, and 1 in the 9th to win 14-12. The Rockies. Like, goddamn Diamondbacks.
Well, they're minus 144.
I know better than to bet on the Braves. I should have known better, but I was like, nah, this is a good one. And it didn't work out in my favor. Both of them blew leads. Huge leads, mind you.
I'm just going to, what I'm going to start doing,
bullpens fucked me.
I'm just going to put a parlay together every day. White Sox lose, Marlins lose.
Don't do it with the A's right now. They're halfway decent.
Pittsburgh loses.
Yeah, that's good.
Colorado loses.
Yeah.
That's what I'm rolling with.
Colorado's definitely, generally, until last night.
Well, I mean,
the one time
Pittsburgh ain't won but 15 games, so
yeah. They just got swept by the Phils.
There's talk now that
they beat Paul Skeens today too.
They're talking that they're already potentially listening to offers for Skeens.
No.
What are they going to do with him?
Keep him. Build around him. He's good for the next 10 years.
He's good.
But
the Pirates don't have that in their repertoire.
There is the ability. I keep him right now. Too young. I mean, what are you getting out of it?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's got to be something. It would have to be like you've got to get.
You got to get a proven star right now that's going to bolster that roster. But I mean, you would have to go to somebody like
I don't think
you'd have to go, but you're going to end up spending money too at the same time because you're looking at you got to go to the Dodgers, you got to go to the Yankees, you got to go to the Mets, you got to go to the Phillies, you got to go to one of these teams that can offer multiple All-Stars for this guy.
What you're going to have to get, and I don't think multiple All-Stars does it because because it would take that to make Pittsburgh a winning team. But I think you've got to have like a Herschel Walker type trade for this guy. I mean, Dallas got 15 guys or something when the Herschel Walker trade was all said and done, something stupid like that. But it's going to take something like that. because I don't think Pittsburgh can keep him. Because, I mean,
you're going to have to go find a team that's willing to give up prospects.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's what's, and it's got to be a lot of prospects. And it's got to be potential several can't miss, because by the time this goes down, you're looking, because Skeens still have Skeens, what, for the next 3 years?
Right. So you're talking about the Tigers are right now are ranked as the number one farm system. Behind them are the Rays, and then the Red Sox are third. The Dodgers, surprisingly, are fourth.
It would take, I mean, the Dodgers would kill for a guy like him. And if they've got that kind of farm system.
Right. So, I mean, that's the thing. Do you hold on to the farm system and then trade away all-stars and try to bring these guys up? Or are you looking to,
solidify what you're already building
right
now?
But that's what I'm saying. You gotta find a team like that, right? So like the Mets are there at 12.
I mean, you imagine Skeens with like the Dodgers lineup supporting him.
Oh yeah, no.
Instead of what he's got now.
Yeah, the Phillies are right in the middle of 17.
It's just, I don't know. I just know. I know in 5 years he's not going to be a Pittsburgh Pirate. Like there's no way.
No. He's ending up a Dodger or a Yankee.
He's going to end up a Dodger, a Yankee, a Met, a Brave. He's going to end up somewhere.
He's going to go to one of the top 6 spending ball clubs.
Yeah, he's going to go to a team. He's going to he probably wants to win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about baseball players. I mean, yes,
you
do see these guys that go chase money. Yeah, fuck it. You're going to pay me $35 million. I'll go here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
Well, in that instance, if Paul Skeens, down the road does decide to go ahead and move teams, he's going to need some new merch.
He's going to need some new merch.
Yeah, you can go to Old Glory, though. OldGlory.com. They offer over 300,000 items that have music, sports, entertainment, and pop culture fans. Featuring officially licensed merch from iconic bands and the top sports teams. So if he does end up with the Dodgers or wherever, he's going to be able to find some new gear right there at OldGlory.com. They discover your perfect fan gear and save with the exclusive discount. You're going to get 15% off using Jabbo the Pod right there in the promo code SPLOT when you go to checkout. Yep. And they got you whatever you need right there. I say check it out. Paul Skeens in your future for sure. And use the promo code.
Yeah, like it. Promo code Central.
What we do here.
Got a couple more coming, so we'll get to it in just a minute.
We do. But no, yeah, I mean, back to like Paul Skeens and what you're talking about that. I mean, I am a fan of thinking about in the long run, you're gonna want to keep him around. He's putting butts in the seats, right? Ticket sales are huge right now for baseball owners. So, at least every 5 days, you're putting butts in the seats.
Yeah. So
you're gonna want to continue to have him around just for that aspect of it. So you want you to evaluate this down the road. You're not doing it now. It's not a good idea to do it now because you're at least getting every penny out that you're going to get out of it.
Oh yeah, they're squeezing the turnip right now.
Exactly. So you can't let the guy go at this point, unless you just get an astronomical deal with, say, a team, like the Dodgers with a top 5 farm system, and they're coming at you with, something.
We'll give you 6 or 7 of our best prospects for this guy.
Right.
Something along that lines.
Yeah.
But it would
maybe throwing an all-star in there just so you have something that's going to at least try to garner some, ticket sales.
I mean, he's just a beast, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't get run support.
He doesn't. They lost 1-0 today.
I mean,
however, the Phils pitched a rook, or whatever you want to call him. But I mean, he made his MLB debut. Abel pitched a fucking gorgeous gem today. No runs, had 9 strikeouts, most by a Philly in their debut. Amazing. Just I hope that success continues for Abel going in the future.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gotta.
He had 6 or 7 strong innings.
It's gotta suck when you're Paul Skeens, you give up 3 hits and 1 run and you lose.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah, no, I mean that's got to eat at him, right? He pitched to Jim too.
Yeah. I mean, it was essentially a pitcher's duel today.
It was absolutely. Those are good games to watch. I love those. And I watched the majority of it. However, yeah, with Skeens, that sucks, man. You need the run support. That's the one thing you're asking for. And just to get 2 runs on the board today, it's not asking for a whole lot.
Just 2
against the rook in the league. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, that's just. Ugh.
But I mean, yeah, it's just the downside to being at a pro or a ball club that just doesn't.
It doesn't have
the history of sucking.
Yeah,
I mean, Pittsburgh is the history of sucking.
Yeah, like it complete history of sucking. And it's just like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I hate it for him because that dude's a stud.
I'm looking at like his games that he started this year, and I'm looking at like 4 losses. I believe this is.
He's 3-5 after today.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at his last 5 starts before today.
I'll tell you what he needs. He needs some Shimmerwood.
Some Shimmerwood?
That'll get you over it.
I'd get him relaxed a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the Shimmerwood beverages.
Yeah, you go to shimmerwood.com. Shimmerwood's award-winning CBD seltzers combine full-spectrum CBD with natural fruit shrubs, delivering a refreshing, stress-relieving drink that eases tension, which I guarantee that offense gives him a lot of tension, and promotes the relaxation to just forget that it even happened today.
Yeah.
You can enjoy an exclusive discount using Jabba the Pod.
Yep.
Right there in the promo code slot when you go to checkout.
Yeah, I believe it's 30% there.
Yeah, I think that's the big one. Yeah, that's the 30% listener discount right there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it gives you some Shimmerwood right
great.
There. CBD product.
But yeah, just looking at his numbers though, like he lost to the Mets. They lost 4-3. He gave up 6 hits, 1 run.
Ooh.
St. Louis, they lose 2-1. 3 hits, 2 runs. I mean, the Cubs
can't catch a break, can he?
5 hits, 3 runs, over 5. Like, just cannot catch his break. His last win was April 25th against the Dodgers.
What?
They won 3-0. He went 6 and 6. I don't know what 0.1 of an inning is.
1 out.
Is that?
Yeah,
I would think that would be 6.3.
It's 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Well, it wouldn't be 0.3. They give you the full inning.
Yeah.
It's 0.1. If it's 0.1, is 1 out. 0.2 is 2 outs.
That's just still weird. Anyway,
it's weird. I know, but that's exactly
5 hits, no runs, 9 Ks in that game. But I mean, no run support at all.
Yeah,
none.
Sucks.
None. But speaking of Chicago,
what does Chicago have? They have something special up there.
Oh, they have the fabulous Big Fork brands.
Nice.
Your gateway to the flavor Nirvana. Based in the heart of Chicago, this family-owned business crafts the finest burger and hot dog sauces, bacon sausage, and paleo family treats. Their standout product, the Real Windy City sauce, captures the essence of Chicago's vibrant culinary scene. At Big Fork, they believe in wholesome ingredients, bold flavors, ensuring every bite is a celebration of taste.
Man.
You can get a 20% discount at the checkout with them with Jabba the Pod.
Yeah, hit them with the Jabba the Pod promo every time. Yeah, we'll travel from Chicago. We'll need to hook it up with some Big Fork brands. Dog sauce when we do the 999 challenge.
Ooh, that's still coming.
Yeah, and then the Twins' streak of 13 wins ended. They had 34 shutout innings.
That's
in
crazy.
that span. That's nuts.
That's insane.
Yeah, Twins been rolling. I think the Guardians have been rolling as well. Guardians have been playing some really solid baseball as of late.
Yeah, the Twins are 9-1 in the last 10. I'm assuming they lost today.
Yeah.
The Guardians in that same, well, I wouldn't say
They've lost 4 straight. I think before the weekend they were on kind of a heater, but yeah, here recently not doing so hot. So, but yeah, last I had looked, the Guardians have been one of the hotter teams in baseball. So,
St. Louis is 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, I mean, you go look into the NL East too. You got the Phillies; they're 7-3 in the last 10. The Mets are 6-4. Braves are 6-4. I guess the Braves won today because they did not win last night.
Damn you, Braves! Damn you!
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh,
Dodgers are on a 3-game skid. I love that shit.
Mets just picked up a run last inning.
Ooh, missed that one.
I like it. I missed it too. I just happened to see the score up there. I was like, hey,
Nice.
Works for me.
Well, man, I think we covered the entire spectrum of sports for us today.
We did.
Yeah, we caught up and got back at it today. So appreciate everybody listening as always, and we'll get back at you later.
Yes, sir.
Right, man. Until then, I will see you.
Hey there.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.